Covering all things LEGO, from Minneapolis to Fiverton and LEGO cities beyond. It's Breaking News. Welcome back to another episode of Breaking News. I am Jason. With me we have Alex. We're going to drink some dew. Ooh, that was in unison.
Man, I love that sound. Oh, that's good stuff.
Thanks for watching this episode of Breaking News.
Thanks for tuning in.
Yes.
It must be a Tuesday.
It is. Okay. It is a Tuesday, and it is Ask Alex time.
Oh, joy.
People keep trying to change the name, but I say no. We have a lot of questions this time, and if we're going to try to keep to our hour-ish thing,
Come on, man.
we got to get on it. But before we start with the questions, we do have one thing I think we need to mention.
Oh, yes.
We forgot to talk about this last week.
Yeah, we did.
So people had been asking about shirts.
Right.
The official Breaking News shirt. And evidently, people actually bought this.
People did
Can you
buy
believe
these.
it?
I was
There's
like,
at least a
it's
few
so
people
cool.
walking around with our Legoized faces on it.
Yeah, it was so trippy. I got the picture, I'm like, wow.
Someone
There's someone
sent in a
there.
picture. There's one that's a
Yeah.
review picture on the site. It's just a picture of the shirt,
Oh, okay.
which is all right.
That's fine. That's
But
fine.
someone sent us a picture. I got an email. It was fairly short, but it was from Brian. He said, Jason and
Brian.
Alex, here is a pic of the shirt I got. Love the videos and all the comments. Honest and not worried about corporate direction is what to say or not. Keep up the good work, Brian. So
Thanks, Brian.
thank you. I hope it's okay, Brian. We share your picture. I think it's awesome.
It is really cool.
Anyone else that bought a shirt, if you want to send in a picture,
Yeah.
we'll show it off.
Send it in.
We didn't make any money off it. I just think it's funny that someone actually
You know,
bought a
would
shirt.
it be so bad if we did make money off of merchandise? Would you guys like, oh man, they're such sellouts?
My question is, would we really make money off of it?
Probably not, but
don't know.
Like,
I
let's,
did-
Let's
I-
say we made $5 in a year. Like, woo!
So I did send
merch.
a message to the shirt creator. It's Chuckle Couple on Etsy. If you go into Etsy and type in Breaking News, it will pull up.
Oh, good.
It will.
Oh, good. Okay.
You got to make sure it doesn't autocorrect to breaking news. 'cause
It does
does
want
that.
to do that. Yes,
But
I noticed
yeah,
that.
it
too.
shows up there and you can see the shirt. But I did send a message. I said, hey, I hope, it at least was worth your time.
Like, we're selling hundreds of these a day.
She said that it's been great.
That's great
You
to
know,
hear.
She
Wow.
didn't give me a number how many had sold, but
She's like, it's been great. I don't know why I'm doing this. Like,
so anyway. All right. So we will get into it.
get into it.
First one is from Mr. Wicked Paul.
Mr. Wicked Paul? All
That's
right.
what it says. Question says, following it on a previous episode about redoing sets. Sometimes that comes up where we've talked about how they're remaking sets.
Oh, yeah. Okay, sure.
It says, why do we have to get yet another Hagrid's hut coming in March?
Because we'll probably, people who missed out on the first one will want this one.
I have a better reason, I think.
Oh, let's hear it.
In my opinion, because I've talked to my wife about this, the Harry Potter world is much more limited than Star Wars, for example.
Yes.
Like everything happens at Hogwarts and like 2 other places. Like there's the Dursley's house, whatever their names are. Like you've got that. You understand what I'm saying? Like you got Diagon Alley. You've got a couple places, but mostly it's at that, and that's why they keep making Hogwarts over and over. That's my opinion. I don't know if it's true or not.
No, that's a good point, but it just makes me think like, wait, Star Wars redoes so many sets.
Well, I'm not doubting that. But if you think of the number of Star Wars sets they come out with every year compared to the number of Harry Potter sets they come out with every year,
Yeah.
you know.
No, yeah, well, Harry Potter had this very long hiatus.
Yeah, it was a number of years.
Yeah, and so when they came out again, it was great. I was like, oh my goodness, these are great, and they look really cool. But now they're overdoing it.
Yeah.
There's a lot of Harry Potter sets, and I was thinking these are great investment sets, so I was picking up a lot of like medium, small sets for it. I'm like, oh, okay, I can't keep up. This is like Star Wars all over again.
Yeah.
But no, I like your idea. I think that's actually some good input as to why. But I also don't disagree with my opinion, and that is people are going to buy it because they missed out on the
No,
first
I
one.
agree with that. I do think that, and I don't have a problem with it. Like, for example, the X-Wing, the UCS X-Wing. If they only ever made it once and they didn't ever make it again,
Yes.
and you wanted it, and it was back when people weren't collecting, and now it's, a few $100 or $1,000.
I was gonna say $1,000 if there was not
whatever,
the Red 5 or the one that you got.
Yeah, so that's the problem I see. So I think it has to do with how much time is in between it. Because they've come out, like some of the clone sets, like the ATTE, they haven't had one of those in a number of years. It's been like, I think 10 years.
Yeah.
And I don't have an issue with that.
You know, I'll also throw this out there. Nostalgia for some of those, like the, what do you call that? Magisto's Magical Workshop, El Dorado Fortress, things like that.
Was 30 years an okay span in between?
That's a
I think
lifetime
that's
for a lot of us.
Yeah.
Things like that. Pirates of Barracuda Bay.
Yeah.
Those hit on your nostalgias.
Yeah.
Pretty good. So that's another reason.
Yeah.
You know.
I don't know. I mean, for example, the Death Star over there, the playset Death Star, it was retired for like 2 days, and then they came out with the new one. That's where I think people have issues. And the Hagrid's hut, it's only been retired, I want to say, for like a year and a half or 2 years. So I could see where it's a little close.
Oh, okay.
That's, I think.
Oh, I didn't know it was that close.
Yeah, because it.
Oh, okay.
I want to say it was 2021-ish. Is that it retired? I could be wrong.
Because he mentions Hogwarts hut, right?
Hagrid's hut.
Hagrid's hut. Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Thanks for the question.
Next is from Paul's Bricks.
Hey, Paul, and your bricks.
He says, your Boxing Day Lego store sales sound like the ones we have here in Australia. Nothing decent on sale. The thing that's funny is I think if you go to Lego, it's a lot of that stuff that's on sale.
Yes, that's awesome, man.
If you'd like the backstory behind that commercial, we generally kind of go back and forth on this.
Yeah.
In that episode, it was Christmas night, so Monday, the night before, and I realized like at 7 o'clock, I'm like, oh crap, we don't have a commercial. So I wasn't going to send him a message, hey, I know it's Christmas and your Niners are playing. Can you make a... You probably would have rather made a commercial than watch that game.
I probably, yeah.
Well,
I wasn't at home, but yeah.
Yeah, anyways, so that was why I put that in there. I think
tough.
that was funny.
Even if you said something to me, I'm like, oh, dude, no commercial because I am not in a position to make one.
Sometimes the commercials are easier than others.
So, yes, absolutely. Sometimes when the commercials, I'm like, oh crap, what am I gonna do? But I always end up having a good time with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've been fun.
Yeah.
Okay, next. Oh, we have a couple that are comments related to the micro build.
Yes.
First is from Melinda Noons, 8607.
Hey, babe.
Says, I vote for Mindy's. Haha.
Yes, I vote for yours too. It was good.
Can't say no.
No, you can't.
That was good.
It was a good build, actually. I mean, like if she built it for the show, even.
Yeah.
It was cool that she.
Well,
had
she'd built it before. That's the only issue I would have with it.
But irregardless,
Well,
it was a great winter build.
Yes, but the point was you had to make something new, so you just shouldn't have ratted her out. Maybe.
All right, sorry, babe. It's my fault.
I don't know.
You got my vote too.
Joe Bowling says, nice micro builds, but I wonder if Alex considered a 1x1 clip and a bucket handle for goalposts.
Yes,
I don't know if the right colors were available for that, though.
Color was an issue. That was the main issue. Like, those were perfect. They were the perfect size. But I'm like, I only had brown, like a light brown and black. Yeah. Lots of black. I'm like, I can't do that. So there was like those little hose guns. I found one yellow one. I thought I could get 2 of those.
But you need 4.
But I need 4. I'm like, so I did not like that I had the nozzles. Yeah, they weren't my favorite. But you know what? I think as far as just...
No, I think it was a good build. I have nothing bad to say about it.
Yeah.
I mean, in a micro build, you're not always going to get the right proportions on any of those things, right? I mean, the snowman, 3 studs, is that really, the house is, 2 bricks high. So how big a snowman are you building? But if you put 1 stud, it doesn't look like, So,
No.
I think parts, though, are a big challenge when I build things. It's like, okay, what do I have?
You need very specialized pieces. Yeah.
Depending on what you're building, it's like, okay, I need this. Oh, well, I only have pink. That's not going to work for, the Millennium Falcon or whatever.
No, but I like the way you think, because I was thinking that too with the goalposts would be great. So I'll keep an eye out for those. But you know where that is now?
In your parts bin?
It went to Josh's room. He took it.
Oh, did he?
He took it.
He liked it?
And for Christmas, I gave him a 49ers football. It's one of those that you sign.
Okay.
It's got like a lot of white area. It's really cool, and I got him a display case for it.
Did you sign it?
I signed it, and he's like, dude, Dad, this is
That's
stupid.
not how this works.
And he threw it in the garbage. No, I'm just kidding. No, I did not sign it. I was like, oh, you're a real hero.
That would be funny.
Alex Noons, your dad. Love, Dad.
YouTube superstar.
YouTube superstar. You're welcome. This is going to be worth $10 million someday. No, but he put it on top of the display case. I was like, oh, that's cool. I'm glad he thought it was pretty cool. He came in when we were doing that video.
Oh yeah, he did.
He's like, and then he made a comment about the goalposts
remember.
are too big or something like that. I'm like,
I think
thanks.
you can just see like his hands or
Yeah,
something in the video.
you saw his face in the corner there for a split second there, but yeah, he took it. So he's
that's
got it.
funny.
Yeah.
Let's see. Delson, also on the micro build, said, "I really like the Borble, however you want to say it."
The bauble.
He didn't write that. He just wrote Bobble. Looks really good. How long did it take to make? And then there's another thing. He says, "Is the space sets some of your favorite stuff, Alex?" So as far as the micro build, again, it was trying to come up with that door.
Yeah,
Well, it was
how to make
the
it
two
open.
biggest problems were, number one, coming up with a build that could fit inside of it, because it is a little bit bigger than the ones that come with the Lego gift with purchase.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I pulled those sets out and looked to see. I'm like, oh yeah, these aren't hollow, so I got to jimmy rig my own thing together. So it's a little bit bigger, and then coming up with something you could open and see. So it was figuring out what's in there and the door. So I spent a couple hours because a lot of it was trial and error and parts, searching for parts.
Yeah, no. Mine was quick. The only challenge was the goalposts. The idea is the most difficult.
That's the hardest part I have. I mean, if you want to include that, I spent about 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Took about 2 weeks to build.
But once you get the idea, you're like, oh, cool. Now it's all about finding the right pieces for it. Yeah.
And unless, like if you have a block that's like, oh crap, I don't have a yellow whatever, then it can really...
That could derail you pretty
sure.
quick. Yes.
The second part of the question is space sets, some of your favorite stuff. I don't think this is necessarily new. I think it's just in general, like the Lego space things.
The Lego space thing. Yeah, I like them. It plays off of my nostalgia. But honestly, though, if we're talking specifically about these sets that are coming out, that came out at the beginning of the month, I think they're fantastic. If I never got them from Lego, I wouldn't collect them. I don't have any place for them. I think they're neat. I would have definitely collected them as a teenager. But as an adult, I just have nowhere to put them. They don't really fit in the Lego city.
Yeah, you don't really have your space stuff out.
No, it's all put away. Yeah, I mean, I guess
I know you've rotated it from time to time.
I have. I just get
Because I
tired.
remember you had.
I'm tired of cleaning them.
You had the one out that kept getting covered in chalk because of the weights. I remember that.
Yes, it's not a good idea to display them in my weight room because I'm doing the chalk all the time, and I always see it like. And it's always all in my pants because I touch my pants a lot. I'm like, whoo, it's all over the place. But yeah, it's not so much dust as it is chalk. But it is right next to the utility room, which that heater is going, air conditioning.
Blowing that stuff around.
Yeah. So not ideal. But I love space sets. I would love for them to come out with like a really good redo of Blacktron or Mtron or any of those. Would be really cool to see.
Any of the Trons.
Any of the Trons. Go Tron. But no, I like it because it's an original idea. There's a story behind it, and that's what I liked about this theme too. And I didn't say that in my review, but there's a story.
Yeah.
I did actually.
I think you
mention it,
mentioned because they were
What are
trying
they
to get
doing?
the energy or the crystals.
Yeah, they got to
or
get the
whatever.
crystals to harvest the
the
energy
little
from
purple
them for their
battery
purple
too.
batteries. They can't run out of batteries, right? And there's these plants, and they're researching it. And they all have their roles and its color. You know what was so funny? Is somebody mentioned like it's too bad there were no red shirts. I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I forgot that. That would have been so hysterical to say like, oh, there's a red guy, he ain't gonna make it.
That's funny.
Yeah, no, good stuff. That's a good question. Thanks.
Next few. Oh, we have a couple I think that kind of go in. These are off of our rant video where we talked about the gifts of Lego. So some people.
Oh, okay. Our holiday
I think you
special.
had asked. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, not that's the live stream. The one where we did our rant. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was special. Probably wasn't very special.
They're all special. That's what my mom tells me.
Yeah, that's a different kind of special. This is from Dana Farin.
Oh, Dana.
We hear
what's
from
going
Dana
on?
quite
It's so
a
good
bit.
to hear from you.
Says,
Yeah.
great commercial. And I think this was the Lego store one. Not buying any of it, though. Really? You don't want the foosball
Come
table?
on now. Yeah.
I believe I was watching the first upload as it was pulled. And we talked about that last week, what happened. And stayed up to the finish before going to bed.
Oh.
My favorite set I bought this year was the Friends Botanical Garden.
Oh, yeah.
My wife got that one,
Yep.
so I'm hopefully she'll get that built soon. All it took was someone else to take the figures that came with the set and have me place my figures in it, and it was perfect. That's what I think we're gonna do. We'll give the mini dolls to nieces or something.
Oh, yeah.
My big wish list set right now is the Orient Express. I ordered a shelf for it that came over Christmas. so it will be mine sometime next month.
Right on. Cool,
The
cool.
greatest thing Lego gave me is a nice, positive community to be part of and follow. Like the other guys from Utah. Who are they?
Utah guys.
What about us?
Yeah, come on now.
We're from Utah. The other guys from Utah who make me laugh at least once a week. Merry
nice.
Christmas and a Lego-filled 2024 to both of you.
Thanks,
thank you.
Dana. And same to you as well. Hope it's a fantastic new year and enjoy the Orient Express. And it's a great set.
Yeah.
It really is. Despite all the controversies surrounding it, it's a solid train.
I think a lot of that has dissipated. Like
Yes.
people really hated it before when it's like, oh, you can't motorize it, and then
Yeah.
people motorize it. Now they're like,
Now that
"Oh,
people are getting it in their homes, like, oh, this is actually
it's not
pretty
bad.
cool. Yeah.
I mean, it's not perfect, but generally they're not.
Few Lego sets really check all the marks.
Yeah.
Check all the boxes. So thanks, Dana.
All right, next is from Joe Bowling.
Joe, we've heard from him before.
We
What's up,
have.
Joe?
We hear from, I think his daughter's the one that did the Star Trek with the green hand.
That's right.
My gifts from Lego were the reintroductions of two themes I missed out on. Lord of the Rings and Indiana Jones.
Oh,
Yes.
true. Yes.
I love the Temple of the Golden Idol set, as Raiders of the Lost Ark is my favorite movie. My favorite set from 2023 is Rivendell. It gets the edge because Lego Elves was what got my kids excited about Lego, and the Rivendell set reminds me of helping them build those sets.
No kidding. That's cool.
I've been getting them into the movies, and one of them has just started reading the books.
Wow. Reading the books too.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So,
Yeah, those are both. Yeah, those are solid themes. But with Lord of the Rings, it was just really Rivendell, wasn't it?
this
'Cause-
last year, but
yeah,
they're
but
coming out with new stuff now.
Oh, they are.
Yeah, I
'Cause-
think they're coming out with the big tower and
because
a couple other things.
like a kind of like a UCS kind of size, or
I can't remember.
you know,
It's-
those
I'd have to look.
Lord of the Rings sets that came out, that first wave, those are worth some money, rare and valuable. There you go.
Yeah. Well, and then the
thanks,
other
Joe.
thing that he mentions
Yeah.
is, the reason they're his favorites is because of the memories with
What-
his
yeah,
kids, right?
yeah,
I mean, and that's one of the things about Lego. Like I think about the Indiana Jones sets. My son had those, and we would build them. And
Yeah,
play
it brings you
like,
back. It makes you feel
it's-
like a
it's
kid,
fun.
and that's what the space sets do for me. It reminds me of my childhood. It reminds me of the sleepovers and the epic battles I had at my friend's house, and I love that time of my life.
Yeah,
It
see,
was-
and
it
my
was
son,
magical,
we didn't
man.
do that because there was Star Wars. So Lego space was kind of gone.
Right.
They had, I think, the Mars mission to Mars or
Yeah.
something, but they weren't as good. And he
No,
was into
definitely
Star Wars, and I love Star Wars. So
There you go.
next we have Brixar.
Brickstar.
Yes.
What's up, Brickstar?
He says, like Jason, I played Minecraft once, and that's one more time than any version of Fortnite. Well,
you
we
go.
know his feelings on Lego electronic
we are
apps and
not-
those types of things.
Yes, we know very well your opinions.
And then he does talk about your micro build. He says, and Scott Norwood was still wide right on those goalposts.
yes,
That comment
Even
was
with
on
those
the
massive
original one,
ones.
so he reposted it.
like 30.
Because I was like,
30
wow, that's
yards
kind of
wide.
harsh.
Yeah, it's brutal.
He didn't miss by that much.
It's like the call of the 1986 World Series, and it gets by Buckner. Oh no! And the Mets win the World Series. Anyway,
Next, Mardi Gras Man 23. He says, "'Tis the season to rant on not getting my monthly rant." So he was
yes.
not a fan, evidently.
Sorry, Earl. We kind of
About-
snuck a little bit.
You
in
kept
there.
trying.
I
You
tried for you,
tried.
buddy.
And
I
then
was
you'd
trying
pull it
for you,
back.
Earl.
Like, oh.
I did. I reeled it in. I reeled it in. But don't worry, the next one's gonna be great. We'll make it up for you, okay?
Next, Moments of the Magic. So you remember Joe did the... He does the stop
motion stuff.
He does a lot of shorts.
very
He just
patient-
passed 1 million views.
No way.
Yeah.
That's
I think he does a lot of shorts because you can get a lot more views
Yeah,
that way.
yeah.
But 1 million is still 1 million. I
And
don't
well
care.
deserved, every single one of them. Nice job.
And because he does live streams, because I've watched him and I've actually
Oh,
joined
no
a few.
kidding.
Yeah, he does them like on Fridays and
Oh,
Sundays. He
no
gets
kidding.
on and
Is that his name on the live streams?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it's on his YouTube channel. He does
no
it, and there's a
kidding.
few
Right
people
on.
that get on there. Kendra gets on.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so
We know her too.
yeah. Anyway, and he's filming the little things while he's talking.
No
It's
kidding.
quite interesting. Yeah.
Oh, so it's like behind the scenes too.
It is.
Really cool. It's a moment of the magic.
It is. Every is a moment.
Wow. Okay, cool.
So he says, I think that minifigures are what some people look like in an alternate dimension. Oh, that's right. We had discussions about the dimensions of Lego minifigures.
Yeah.
So I think we have a few comments on that. What people look like in an alternate dimension, and that they have sent some of their smartest people to our world to create these buildings for them to colonize once their dimension gets destroyed by some of the villains from different IPs.
Well said. Well said. That's like I don't know why that made me instantly think of the movie Spider-Man. Is it Into the Spider-Verse?
The first one
it's
or
the second one? It's the second one.
Okay.
Because they have all the dimensions, and there's a Lego dimension, and Miguel tells Peter, who's in Lego form, like, "Thanks, Peter. You're one of our best." It's only like 30 seconds long.
Wait,
but
Miguel?
It's
Miles?
No, Miguel, who's like the main head honcho of the.
I haven't seen the second one. My
Oh
daughter
yeah,
saw
well,
it.
never mind.
Okay.
Yeah, but
I thought
there's
you-
a really cool segment where the Spot is going to all these different dimensions. He figures out how to travel, and he pokes up into the Lego dimension. And it caused some chaos right there in front of the Daily Bugle, and Peter Parker in Lego sees what's going on, and he reports it.
Okay.
And he gets on his little watch thingy,
Yeah.
you know, and he gets to like, "Thanks, Peter. You're one of our best."
That's funny.
I don't know, you guys. You've seen it. You know what I'm talking about.
I will have to watch
There you go.
it. Next from Janet, 3094.
Hi, Janet, 3094.
I've watched your show from the very first episode.
Wow.
And do enjoy it.
And enjoy it. Wow.
Concerning scale, yeah, I mean that's those are two different things.
yes. And you enjoyed it.
If you watch our first 2 episodes are the most watched. So
Are they
what does
really?
that tell you about how we've gone?
Okay, I see where this is
You're like,
going.
oh, this could be. Never mind.
No, we're good.
Concerning scale, I have a similar problem with porcelain village pieces.
Oh.
The people are much larger than the doors
Yeah.
that they're supposed to fit through. Not only that, the buildings themselves are often in slightly different scales. I think this is maybe like a winter village,
Yeah,
because my
I was
mom, I
thinking-
remember having those. Trying to choose what scale car to put in a village is another conundrum. Yeah, 6, 8, 4. Yeah. They got a car for every size. Do I match the buildings or the people?
Yeah.
Similarly trained.
Ugh.
What scale is best? So Lego is not unique when it comes to inconsistencies in scale.
Yes.
Oh dear, I've just written a rant.
Oh, there you go.
On the wrong channel to boot. Well, no, that's not the wrong. This is the right channel.
You
for
got
that.
it right. You got
We
that
just did
right.
it the wrong week. I guess we should
The
have
scale
saved
may
this.
not be right, but your rant was. There you go. You got that down. You know, that reminds me of Micro Machines. I collected Micro Machines before
Oh, yeah.
Lego. I loved Micro Machines and
Guy
creating my
that
own little
talked all
world.
fast.
And yeah, remember, this is a Micro Machine. It's not the real thing. And I had the San Francisco opening thingy, and I thought that was the coolest thing. Those things were expensive. I thought Lego was expensive.
Oh,
Micro
yeah.
Machines, super expensive.
Oh, yeah.
But similar stuff like that with Micro Machines too. With the cars, it's all about the cars.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, and it's just like we were talking about with the micro builds. I mean, how do you make a goalpost that would have fit at the scale of that in Lego?
What was Lego
you
thinking?
couldn't.
Come on.
I mean, I guess you could have done a hand, a yellow hand. That
Yeah,
probably would have been
that
closer
might
to
have
scale, and
worked.
that still would have probably been big,
Yeah.
right? I don't know.
Yeah, you're not wrong. There you go.
But was it the width and the length? Was they to dimension? You know, yeah, you can't get into that. Okay. We have another brick czar. Oh wait, are we? thinking of football?
I've got no thoughts. We're good. Continue
sure?
on.
Well,
No, I was just
we
thinking
have
about
time.
I was thinking about the claw hand. I mean, would that work? Or could I get 2 claw hands and have the stems be the uprights?
Well, I'm thinking if you do I would try a jumper plate, and
Yeah.
you just put a hand, the yellow hand, because you've got the goalpost coming up, and I mean it's not square, but it's
Maybe I'll give that a try and see
try
what
and
happens.
see what it looks like. Okay, brick czar.
Czar again? What the
Yes.
heck? What's up with
well,
this guy?
this is from like 3 different episodes. I compiled stuff.
Oh, okay,
so.
I see. That's a month worth of Brickstar comments. Okay.
Well, there's others we hear from multiple times as well.
Sure. Okay,
So,
and that's okay. We love it.
we love it.
Keep them coming.
Some of these are from the same episode, because that's the other thing I've noticed. Because people, I noticed this on the A-Fool podcast,
Okay.
that, people would, like even me, I would want to comment on something, but I'd wait the whole hour, and then I forgot what I was going to say at the beginning.
That's
but
hard
I
to do.
remember-
Yeah, so you have to comment
So
when you see it. Yeah.
We see people comment
Uh-huh.
like 3 or 4 times on a
Right.
video, and that's why
Yeah,
they
I've
do
done
it.
that
It
on the
makes
A-Fool
sense.
podcast. I've done like 3,
Yeah.
2 or 3 comments at least. Yeah.
Anyways, Jabo says, so my reputation apparently exceeds my reality. Oh, this is the one where we were talking
Is this
about
when
the
I was-
designers, and we're like, oh, Jabo would know who all these people are.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
that's what it was.
We were gushing about him
Yeah.
in that episode.
He
Yeah.
says, I honestly don't know many of the set designers and what specific sets they designed. I know there's a mustache guy.
Mustache guy.
There's the guy that thought the Brickzar sig fig was in the Gas and Wash Express. The tall girl that made dots.
Uh-huh.
I think, is that Amy? I think that might be Amy.
She is a tall girl.
That Star Wars designer that thought the gunship was the original trilogy.
Gunship is a set from the original trilogy.
Yeah, that was the whole thing. And Jamie that made Cafe Corner and Emerald Knight. That's
Yes.
about the extent of my knowledge of the set designers.
That's actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not bad, man.
Did you know I met a Lego designer just a couple months ago?
Did you get the autograph from this person?
I did not. So they had one at the Lego store. The guy that designed the new Disney castle.
Oh, yeah.
His name was, I don't know.
Bob.
He was the non-bearded guy with the
non-
no. His name was Josh, I think.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm not that big of a Lego geek, I guess. Anyways,
That is pretty
they had him at the Lego store. Evidently, he's from here locally,
From
or at least he
Utah?
went to BYU. That's what someone at
Wow.
the Lego store told me. I could be
Wow.
way off because
Hey,
this is what someone
Utah's
told
got
me.
some claim to fame on the map
Yeah,
of the Lego
because
world.
his last name is. I thought he was Danish or something because
Yeah.
it's not what we
last name
consider an
is-
American. It's not Smith. It's
Josh Vervash. Hold on.
I don't remember. That's the problem. Anyways, irregardless, I went and I'm like, I debated for a while. Should I go? I'm like, all right, I'll go over. And there was a line, and they're like, oh, it's closed off. So I waited too long. So I was looking at the pick-a-brick wall, and he came back, and I said, I just said, hey, I have a question for you. and I just had a brief,
That's
2-minute
cool.
interaction.
It was a casual interaction.
There was
I like that.
one question I wanted to ask more than any. I said, I have to ask you, why did you remake the exact same castle just in a different color scheme? I said, I would have bought it if it was any of the others. And do you know what he told me? He actually was from California. He told me that's where he grew up, going to Disneyland. Because I said, I wish you would have done the Disneyland castle or even the Disneyland Paris castle. Mm-hmm. Tokyo's the same as the other one, so it would have been the same. But I said, had you done those, I think it would have sold a lot better. And he said, I wanted to, but this is what his bosses told him to make.
Oh, so it wasn't his choice.
Correct. Yeah, he said, I'm from California. I wanted to make the Disneyland castle. So I told him, I said, I would tell you,
So corporate got
tell
away.
them they need to, maybe it's easier because they use some similar parts. I don't know.
Yeah.
A recolor is, because there are different build techniques, like around the base and stuff. So it's not exact one-to-one remake, but roughly it looks the same, other than the color.
It's got different minifigures.
Ooh, well,
There you go.
let me spend $400 to get a couple minifigs. Oh, and one I can get in the CMF. Okay, we will.
Rant.
We will move on. Oh, we have Mardi Gras Man. We have a couple Mardi Gras Mans here.
Here we go. Oh,
He
boy.
says, Alex does the most honest reviews I've seen from a LAN member. However, his is the only one I watch.
I was gonna say, are there other land members who you watching?
The weight is this is when we were talking about different, I was trying to give you some ideas of how you could maybe do like the reveal or make it more, some different ways rather than, here's the box. Oh, this is what 800 other people all did. He says, the weight is a good idea. How about a haul type short? I don't know. And don't show nothing.
Okay.
You let us guess what's in the box based on the weight. Is it one big set or multiple themed sets?
Wow. That's interesting. Because some of the boxes that come are fairly good size.
So like the recent ones, the space, you just got a big box with a bunch of sets, and the fire, the same thing,
It was
right?
the exact same box, right?
So
yeah.
I mean,
And they were both big
I
boxes.
couldn't see you getting in trouble. Like, look at my brown shipping box. What's inside it?
I think we're okay there. Yeah.
Who knows?
Well, thanks, Earl. Those are good good
I don't know.
suggestions.
I think there's things you could do that would be interesting. I mean, we've talked about like weighing it, some things like that without opening it.
You know what? I'm just thrilled that I'm the only land reviewer that Earl watches.
Yeah.
So that's what I took away from that. Now he's like, you didn't take my suggestion. I'm going to go to this person now.
All right. Another comment he had, again, like we talked about, multiple comments on the same video.
All right.
Probably.
Keep them coming, man.
Jason has showed some of his pile of shame. I think he's talking about my city. I don't know.
Look at that pile of shame.
Pretty much. What else do you have, Jason? And Alex, do you have a pile of shame? What did I do as a pile of shame?
Was it your fantasy sets? Is that what he's talking? Is he talking about fake
know.
Lego?
I don't think so. I don't know.
Pile of shame.
I was trying to remember. Like,
There's a lot of piles of shame.
oh,
throughout
you know
my
what? I
life.
bet I know what it is. I bet I know. He's probably talking about when I pulled out all of my sets underneath the city, my backlog that I haven't built and I don't have room to
That's a
do.
pile of shame?
Well, in some ways, it is shameful. I spent all this
Well-
money on things I'm not going to build.
Well, if that's the case, then I've caught up quite a bit since then because I
you
had
didn't.
I had some child labor.
Free child labor.
Free
is
child labor
not-
building my Lego sets for me. I almost had them get my pickup truck and the Jurassic Park set, but we didn't
So
have
let me
time for
ask
that.
you about that because I remember you talking about that last week.
Yeah.
In some ways, don't you feel that you're missing out?
Missing out.
So, like, you didn't get the experience of building the Viking ship. Like, you just put it in your thing. I mean, isn't that part of
Yeah, it is.
getting the Lego set? Like,
Okay.
why don't you just go to, I don't know, KSL, go to local classifieds and buy
Okay, so-
a used set
Yeah.
because someone else has already built it.
And I've done that, and I'm fine
I
with
know,
it.
and I've done it too, but
So the Viking set, to be completely honest, I built 85% of it. I had an 8-year-old trying to build it.
don't go changing your story.
It was a general story, but they had to go
Yeah.
home, and she gave me a decent start with it,
Okay.
and I built the rest of it. So I want to say, but I get your point, though. I get
Yeah.
your point. So let's
Because I've seen
switch
people,
it over to
like I've seen
the-
people advertise, I want someone to build my Lego sets for me.
Yeah, but like,
And I'm like,
dude,
what? That
here's
seems
the
weird.
thing. Here's the thing, man. We have built literally well over 1,000 Lego sets, big Lego sets, and you think about the amount of pieces, hundreds of thousands of pieces that we have with these fingers put together.
Yes.
We get pretty dang fast and efficient at it. Like we whiz through
know.
these things, and some of them are fun. Like I want to build that, and there's some that you know what, I'm kind of on the fence. And when I looked at those sets that were still there, I'm like, you know what? I just don't really care to build them and have the build experience with them. So like the Speed Champion sets, I built a lot of Speed Champion sets. They're all the same.
Yeah.
All right, they're all 350
Well, but you just
pieces.
mentioned the pickup truck, so that's what got me
Well, yeah,
thinking about it.
That
because
one
that's
looks,
one you've
That one
wanted.
looks fun, but here's the deal, man. Like I wanted to keep them entertained, so I was looking
That's
at
fun.
sets, and the sets that I'm like, when I went down there, I'm like, oh wait a minute, I've got some sets I think I can let you guys build because they built the land sets pretty quick,
Yeah.
right? And I was behind schedule on those, so that was actually helping me out.
Yeah. And
So
I
I
don't.
went-
I'm not
I went
saying
down-
there's an issue with you doing like the fire set or
Yeah,
I
no,
I
that's-
understand that.
Yeah, those are not. Yeah, those I'm not talking about the build experience with those
Yeah.
because those are more about like playability and buy them for your kids, right? So that was different. But going downstairs, I was looking at like, oh yeah, the creator set, the Viking ship. It didn't look like it was that much of a fantastic build to me.
Okay.
So I was like, all right, let's give him this, make him give him something to do. The Speed Champion set, that was a no-brainer for me because there was a 2-pack, there was 2 boys, bam, they both get to build them. And they got 95% done before they had to go home. And I don't. So you're right. That is the build part of it is a big part of it, right?
No.
And in many cases, it's the main part
Mm-hmm.
of it. Like the Titanic, that was the main part. Any kind of UCS set
Yeah.
that's built for display is like that. And the pickup truck, though, that's why I didn't pick that one.
Okay.
'Cause
Well,
I
you
could've
mentioned,
given
well,
that.
I almost had them. And I was
I
like,
almost
I thought
had 'em,
that's a
but
set you've wanted.
that is a
for
set
so
that I
long,
want
so
to build. Yes.
That's why that surprised me that you said that. And that's why I asked that question.
Yeah. No, you're right. I'm not very consistent, but
You didn't have
with
them
my
build
thought
your
process.
sand crawler?
no. That. Can you imagine? Jeez. I didn't even want them to build like the Jurassic Park. Like it had to get pretty desperate for me to bust that out.
Oh, the diorama?
The diorama set. I'm not even sure I want to build that.
Really?
I like having it in the box. I don't know why.
Wait, explain this to me, because you're not a box guy.
No, I'm not. I'll
Like, you're not keeping it for investment. Like, that's not
No,
why.
I like it. I want it for me. But I don't know. I don't know how to explain it, man. Like, because if I build it, it's a cool diorama set, and I got to put it somewhere. And I could put it in my miscellaneous shelves. That would work there.
So what do you do with the box? Just keep it like in your shelf storage with?
Yeah, it's there with all my other investment sets. I mean, because like those 2 big shelves of my sealed sets, most of them are for sale, but there's a lot of them that are just mine that are not listed, and like the Sandcrawler, and a few others. But yeah, that's one of them. I don't know. I'll build it. It's fine.
I don't have a problem with it. I mean, because I have all the Indiana Jones sets.
Yeah.
And I find it interesting because you've never been a sealed in box guy.
Not really.
I've even asked you this question, and you're like, "Well, I don't know."
In my old age,
and you're like,
I'm changing into a person that's got a bunch of sealed sets. My what do they call it? A pile of shame. My pile of shame. There you go, Earl. It's happened to me. In my old age, I got piles of shame in my basement.
So can I tell you something? So Tanya has
Please
a
do.
bunch of Harry Potter sets. Like I bought pretty much all of the newer
She's
Harry
got an
Potter sets.
impressive Harry Potter collection now.
So they had been, we didn't have anywhere to put them, so they were all sealed. So then we finally bought shelves and put it in my son's room.
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
Oh, cool.
That's where they've been for a year or whatever.
Okay.
But when we first put the shelf in, I stacked all the sets in there, and it was a box. It was all these shelves on there. It was the coolest looking thing. I have to be honest with you.
With all the sealed sets?
It was sealed sets.
They
and
were
it
all
was
like perfectly.
Yeah, and they were kind of
organized.
like angled. I'll see. I might have a picture of it. If I do,
Sounds pretty
I'll
cool.
add it here. But I just told her, I'm like, I really kind of like the way this looks. It looks really cool.
So what you're saying is
And
that
I'm not a Harry Potter guy. I mean, they're fine.
having the sealed sets in this amazing looking shelving is just as appealing, maybe even more appealing than actually having the sets out on a shelf.
There was something very attractive. And so, like, if I get all of the Indiana Jones sets, I will display them that way. Like, you'll see them because I will be proud of them. Especially if I get them, because I'm going to pay
It's not like, and
ton of
the
money.
guys from the A-Fool podcast might appreciate this, but it's like being a bricklink seller, and you have your beautiful wall of shelves, all organized, all coated, and it's a thing of beauty, an organized masterpiece, right? That you know very well, and it's order when it could be chaos, but it's order. That's what I think is the appeal.
Yeah. Well, and I've seen YouTube videos where people have like their storage room and they've got sets all lined up, and it looks like a very well organized, and there is something appealing to that, even though they're not displayed. Like you can see there's 4 of this modular and 2 of this modular, and you can tell what it is, and there's just something that is, for me as a Lego collector, there's something very attractive about that. I'm not saying I want to do that because you got to. I mean, I'd have to have a room this size that's got shelves and
exactly.
But the art on the box is really good looking, right? Like the Home Alone or the Ghostbusters. I'm looking at them there, but any of these sets, generally they do a good job.
Is that a sealed Ghostbusters firehouse?
It is.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I got to talk to the seller because it has box damage. They didn't tell me about.
It's got some shelf damage to it?
Oh, no, it's crunched in the corner.
Crunched in the corner?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, send it back. Hold on, one more thought before we move off of that topic.
Okay.
As you were talking there, I thought about something.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I've ever said this about me personally, but when I was doing, so sets like the Avengers Tower.
Yeah.
So they come with a lot of additional pieces to put the guys flying all around it. Like it's in action.
Like
right?
this.
Like that, right. So you have all this stuff going on, and that had, 20 of the 30 minifigs going all over the place, right? Including Loki and the Chitauri flying around. I can't stand that. It drives me nuts seeing clutter all over buildings. I never have that. I think I might have a little bit on mine. I might have this guy.
On your thing,
That's
do
it.
you?
Maybe not even that.
I don't think you do on your...
And it's not because I want them displayed in a display case. That's where they end up, mostly.
No.
But I hate the chaos. I hate the, it just looks busy to me. And I just like the clean, slick look of a building. And so I think that's why I can appreciate a nice, clean shelving of brand new sealed Lego sets that is just very well organized. And that's why maybe that's why I like watching the A-Fool podcast, because I look at the background and go, look at that organization. It is beautiful. It's an art, right? That's all. Okay, that's all I wanted to say.
Okay.
Continue.
No. We have another comment from Joe Bowling.
Hey, Joe, again?
Yes. Again, this is off another episode.
Go, Joe.
I think. He says, I told my daughter Emily, who's now 12, that you showed her Enterprise build.
Yes.
And I showed her the video, and she asked, did they really like it?
Heck yeah, we did. Authentically,
it's been
we
talked
did.
about like 4 or 5 times.
It's weird that, we keeps coming back like, oh, that's so cool.
I said that you did, and now she said, I have to make a new Star Trek display and show him.
Oh, yes.
I'm curious to see what she comes up with.
Oh, my gosh. Me too.
So,
oh, yeah.
that'll be
Now I'm in
interesting.
suspense here. The suspense is killing me, Mr. Spock. This is the most logical approach, Captain.
Okay. I think we got a few questions about analytics because there was an episode where we got on this tangent
crap.
about
Hold on. Let me bring
views
up
and all that
YouTube
kind of-
Studio. Okay, go.
Well, you don't have to do that.
All right.
This is MGMG 3000.
Wow.
I think the artist formerly known as just MG.
MG.
Tuesday night viewer here. Good episode as usual.
Thank you.
I enjoy the YouTube analytics for what it's worth.
Yeah.
I think we probably said, is this even interesting to someone? Because a couple people commented that they liked it.
yeah, right.
Maybe without realizing it, I'm only watching because you're not asking me to watch. Interesting to
Please
hear
watch our
about the
videos.
blocked comments, as I
Yeah.
think a comment I made on the Halloween episode was blocked.
Oh.
I tried twice because the episode was so amusing. I did watch it twice. Maybe you've blocked the word Atlantic Canada.
Totally that. Yeah.
We only have 3 words
Oh,
blocked, and
block
those are
that.
2 of them. Enjoy the holiday season.
Yes, yes.
So, we do have some people talk about analytics. I think there's a question that comes up about
Okay.
that. So, let's see. Richard Neal Music
Hi, Richard.
says, Alex,
Yo.
how about this review idea for some of your smaller sets you get through the LAN?
Okay.
You try to build them without the instructions, just using the box art, and see how many pieces you end up with.
All of them. That is a tough challenge, my man.
I don't know. If you had like a small fire truck or
I
the
think-
little space mech,
Yeah,
that could be interesting.
that could be interesting, or very revealing about my inability to put something together based on the box art. Interesting challenge. I'll think about it. I've already put together the fire. Like I was thinking, like maybe the fire helicopter would be something that I could probably get close to. That's
I think
kind
you
of
should do
fun.
Avengers Tower. Just
Yeah,
try to do that off the
500
box.
or, 5,000 pieces.
How many pieces are left over? 4,900.
Yeah, that did not work.
That's just a bunch of windows stacked up.
That's a clever idea.
I don't know.
Thanks for that.
Let's see. Bricks on an Island.
Bricks on an island.
A Bender army? How spooky.
Yes.
Cyberman Army 2.0. I'd love the Lego Ideas design of the Planet Express to become a set.
Oh,
The YouTube analytics was interesting.
oh, thank you.
I guess Jason is somehow right that many of his subscribers/viewers are watching both of your channels. What strikes me is that Alex's channel, the Breaking News episodes, still have more than twice as many views than on Jason's. So I will say this. That definitely was true a couple months ago. Like
Yeah.
I would get 600 and you would get like 1,500.
Oh, okay.
Like somewhere in there.
Okay.
But the last few, I have been getting to around 1,000.
Oh, awesome.
I finally had a few break that 1,000 barrier.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I would think they're a lot of the same people. I see
Probably.
a lot of the same commenters, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
Hold on a second.
But it is more.
That's great. I'm glad it's
Yeah.
on the upward trend. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah, about Futurama.
Yes.
My wife Mindy got me a Futurama T-shirt for Christmas.
It looks
And-
great.
Yes, thank you. As you can see, it looks great.
He was commenting, "Oh, I wore a boring shirt."
I wore a boring
So I
shirt.
had to call it out
Sorry.
since he
Yeah, I know, it's just black, whatever. But it has 4 of the characters. And I was like, I was really excited about it. And but I made a bad decision of making a comment about it, and which ticked her off, apparently. I didn't know it ticked her off until she vented about it later to one of my coworkers. Anyway,
Did you comment someone
Irregardless.
wasn't on there?
yes.
Was it Bender?
Bender was not on it, man.
Really?
It had okay, so it had
So it had
Leela,
Fry.
had Fry, and it had Farnsworth,
Okay.
and it had Zoidberg. Those 4. And I'm like, it's weird, why wouldn't it have Bender on there? Because he's one of the main 3, he's like
Yeah.
the main character besides Fry. But anyway, that was not a dig at my wife. It was a dig at the shirt designer. And Mindy's like, "Oh."
But you should know better. She got you the gift, so it is
She
a
got
dig
me
at
the
her.
gift. Yeah, exactly.
That's
Exactly. I
what it
cannot.
is.
Anyway, I love the shirt. I'll have to wear it on one of these episodes, I guess. But yeah, it doesn't have Bender. But yeah, because the Bender army reminded me of the shirt. So
Funny.
anyway, honey, if you're watching, I love the shirt. Thank you very much for that, and I hope you love your gift too.
Next is from Kenneth R.
Hey, Kenneth.
XO4KN.
Sure.
I don't know.
Why not?
And some of this is past dated. You'll see why. He says, I believe Alex should share a monster drink with Jason. Probably okay. Additionally, I definitely liked the episode with President Mindy and Tanya.
Yeah.
I do have a surprise for both of you that eventually will arrive.
That's right.
And I'm shipping. So yeah, that did come. If you saw the live stream, we did open
live
that.
stream. We opened
that
on
was
the live
super
stream.
cool.
It was really cool.
I have it right here. Oswald. I have a plan for him. Anyway.
I have mine on my below my main screen on my computer in my office.
Yeah.
That's where I put them.
I made sure this one stayed in the bag so he didn't get mixed up with the others.
Oh, good call.
So he's going to go in a vignette. So
Ooh,
you can
vignette.
watch for
there
that.
You go, okay.
You can be one of the 3 people that watch those. I agree with the vehicles being as big as, too big, as I am very fond of my 1x4 and 1x6. My Breaking News t-shirt should be arriving this week, I believe. I can't wait to get it so I can be one of the crew.
One of the crew, yes.
You might be the only, well, I can't say the only one
No.
on the crew because we have 2.
It's doubled
the
in
crew
size.
of 2.
Yeah.
And us, I guess.
Yep.
The marshmallows didn't turn into mini puffs, did they, Alex?
Marshmallows.
I think this is a comment about the grocery store when people were.
Oh gosh.
Where's the marshmallows?
Man, that's never going away, is it?
And that's because the new Ghostbusters when they came out.
Yep.
And maybe a terror dog chase you around the store when you're working for it.
Those things. I had.
Are you
nightmares
excited
of
about
those
the
things.
new Ghostbusters? By the way,
I want to be. I think so. Yeah. It looks really different, doesn't it?
Well, what did you think of the reboot? Right, the Afterlife.
I liked it. Okay. I liked it. Yeah, it was. It definitely plays on your nostalgia. I think it kind of pushed a little bit too much on the nostalgia. Some of it was overdone. Like it was in the store. The Marshmallow Man, the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man was way overdone. I'm like, okay, this is just a bit much here.
Well, they were making up for
the
Ghostbusters Answer the Call.
Sure. But no, I like the movie. What was I going to say about it? The dog though, man. And even as fake as it was in those 80s movies.
You're talking about the original, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, it scared the heck out of me as a kid, man. I was like, oh, those things are freaky. And I can't even imagine if my little 10, 11-year-old self was watching this new one with that dog in the grocery store, pooping my pants.
Okay.
Anyway, moving right along.
It continues.
It continues. But wait, there's more.
Are you ranting again close to the 60 minutes in? Probably.
Yes.
I don't know
Most likely.
where this was, but probably. I'm still watching, and I wasn't even drunk when I subscribed to both of your channels.
But we rely on drunk people to subscribe. That's how
I
we
do
get our
believe
viewers.
that they are called Karens, both the male and the female kind.
Ah, yes.
I don't. Sometimes I get
haters.
comments and I'm like, I don't remember what we were talking about.
Yeah, that happens sometimes. Well, you know what? This is very similar to what the A-Fool podcast does with reading comments at the end. Because a lot of times they're like, oh, what's that in reference
was that?
to? I don't remember.
Oh, that was 3 weeks ago. I don't know.
I don't remember. But
I don't remember what happened earlier in the episode.
I can remember what happened 2 hours ago. Are you kidding me? But no, I think sometimes like you're pretty good at connecting. And like the marshmallow, like, what are you talking? Oh, yes, of course, right, yeah.
Next, Mothra. Hilarious episode. Yes. I've noticed comments missing recently too. How specific does YouTube get with our demographics? Very specific.
I mean, as specific as what you've put in on your profile. So when you're setting up your Google account, your Gmail, what's your gender, what's your age, things like that.
Like what country are you in?
What country, things like that.
Stuff.
Yeah, so that's all in there. And yeah, so that's fun stuff to kind of look at. Mine, even though it always looks at the last 28 days, but mine has remained very consistent as far as the demographics go, country, age, gender, things like that. Yeah, hasn't changed too much.
It's the same old people still watching.
Same old people watching, or it's probably their kids just watching the train crash videos over and over again, honestly. It's probably what it is, man.
We have another analytics or YouTube
Yay.
question.
I love analytics.
Now this one, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see
numbers, man,
how we want to talk about this. This is from Greg Harden 2394.
Hey, Greg.
Do you guys make much money making these videos?
So much money.
How does this work?
So much. I mean, we are rolling in it.
This is what I would ask. We've clearly got a number of comments about the analytics and how does YouTube work.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Is this something we would want to talk about? I mean, I'm not saying, come and show us your pay stubs from YouTube. Like, I don't want to get into that. But to answer your question, I can speak for me. I can't speak for you. I can speak for you on this. We both have day jobs, and this is not it.
Far from it, you guys. Yeah.
I mean, I just barely have started making any money. I actually got my first payout.
That's right.
At the end of December.
So
because I qualified in November. The way it works is they pay you once a month.
Yep.
And you have to have earned over $100.
At least $100, yes.
Like, this is all on the YouTube thing. So, and I started earning money at the last couple weeks of August. I think like the 23rd of August. So it took me basically all of September, October, and a good chunk of November to get there. But it is moving in an upward trend. Not a ton.
Yeah.
But
no, I like the upward trend. Those days are over for me. Mine is very sporadic. 1 month could be fantastic. And when I say fantastic, it's not like I'm making thousands of dollars. It ain't anything like that. So we very much rely on our day jobs. My wife works. She's a registered nurse, and
she works 2 jobs.
He's
got such a problem.
Gotta be careful what I say next, because my wife does a great job. So she's the extra income is fantastic, especially with how things are right now. With inflation was just, man, that's been rough. But anyway, we won't talk about
and with
the
kids,
sad stuff.
There's a lot of.
Oh my gosh! Right now with my boys, they cost so much money.
Boys,
everything, and a new driver, a
air
teenage boy driver. Air
just
conditioners going out, need a new roof, all this money pit. So it helps for sure. I do make well over $100 a month, but nothing like, I don't know.
So a lot of it depends. Like,
you know what? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say it depends on your views, right? So Alex is gonna make more than me because he gets more views. Just that's the way it works, right? So for these episodes, I'll just tell you, I'll get 1,000 views or whatever, and I will make probably somewhere between $7 to $10 on a Breaking News episode.
Didn't we looked up one of mine, didn't we? And how old was it? It had about 2,000 views on it.
Yeah.
And it had $15.
Yeah.
It made $15.
So there you go.
There you go. Now you guys know I get about $15 per 2,000. But it's not like that. It's not per view. It's impressions, it's click-through rates, things like that. Yeah. And like, for example, I did the video of adding motors to the Orient Express.
Oh yeah.
That video did well as far as view count, but it did exceptionally well as far as revenue, because what it was telling me is that your video is doing well, people are watching it when it's recommended, and advertisers are paying more for this. So we don't control that. All we do is we try to put out content, and sometimes it does great, sometimes it goes nowhere. And we'll work our butts off on creating a video, and it makes literally nothing. We make a train crash video, and it does fantastic over years for some ridiculous reason, and it's your best, money maker. It's just very inconsistent that way.
Well, your best video ever, and I'm not going to ask you to say how much you made of it, is the one where you here's my city, or the drive through the city is what it was.
Yeah, a drive through
the video. It's got 7 million views. And,
that is.
You still get people watching it.
Yes, people are still. I think it's just people's kids that are just watching it on repeat or something.
Well, but I think because the way the algorithm works, like I've noticed this. So the one where I said the drama at the pick-a-brick wall, it keeps getting views because I think, it got views, so they recommend it more. So it keeps getting, it's a self-perpetuating thing, right? So they keep, I don't know. Because I'll see Jabo's videos from 3 years ago that just pop up randomly.
Keep the money machine turning, baby.
So
no, I was going to share something specific. What was it now? I can't remember, darn it.
Your tax return.
My tax return, yeah. Well, we do pay taxes. You get a 1099 from Google, and when you put that in your taxes, your tax liability is higher, which is fantastic. Let me tell you how much I love that, because taxes are not taken out. I'll say this. I had a specific example that I was going to share with you guys, but the amount of money that is made is not enough to even buy a car with, to make it like a monthly payment.
I don't even make enough to buy a Lego car.
So like I was going to say this. During COVID, during the lockdown, that was the most fantastic time to be a YouTuber. Everybody was on YouTube.
No one could go anywhere
those
or do
3
anything.
months, that Q4 of what was it 2020? Were just amazing. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is fantastic. It was like everything was up. Revenue was up, views were up, everything was great. I was getting a lot of subscribers. And then when it was over, it wasn't like it was continuing to go up and up and up. It's not like that. Mine is like this. Sometimes it goes down, sometimes it goes up, mostly it's down. But even my very best month ever of being monetized now for nearly 10 years was not enough to make a truck payment. Take that as it is. Now, truck payments, I'm not talking about new truck payments like a $90,000 truck.
It depends on the truck.
I know. If you bought a brand new, definitely a no right there.
I got a $1,000 truck on a block out front.
A used car payment. It wasn't even enough for that. So I'm not quitting my day job. But you know what? We don't do this for the money. We do this for fun. Like this. Like I was talking to Mindy about this the other night.
This is fun?
Well, it's about the interaction with Lego fans. You know this. This is why we do this. And this segment right here, Ask Alex, is really fun for us because we get to interact with you guys.
Well, it's fun for me because I get to spring it on him.
Yeah.
Like I honestly enjoy that. Like him like, oh crap, I gotta think about this.
I gotta think about this. No, the question about money is always tough. I mean, there's YouTubers out there, and I think of that Orient Express video. You know, it only got like 50,000 views after 3 or 4 weeks before it completely died, and I can't remember how much I made off of it, but it was a decent amount. I was like, oh, I think that day it was like a great day. It made $100. It was over $100 day, and over $100 day it's incredible.
Wow.
But people who do it for a living, $100 day is probably small.
Well, if you think about, you know, those of us with jobs, if you only made $100 a day, you're not going to be making a lot of money.
It's not going to be a lot.
It's going to be tough to live. So
making ends meet.
You know, I think a lot of those people. That's why you have people that, you know, this episode is brought to you by NordVPN and, you know, all that kind of stuff, because if that's what you do, you have to make ends meet somehow.
More about them at the end of Breaking News.
Oh, really?
Can you imagine? This episode of Breaking News is brought to you by this big company paying us lots of money.
We actually do have a special commercial this time. I'll just let you know, yes.
Oh, fantastic.
We have a special non-Minneapolis, non-Fiverton business that has submitted.
Yes!
And that's all we will say.
Fantastic. All right,
let's
we
see.
beat the heck out of that question. Thanks for that question. That made me squirm a little bit. I don't really know how to answer that.
Yeah, I don't know. Is that something you'd be interested in if we did an episode where we talked kind of more about how YouTube works and that? Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe
I don't even know how it works, man.
Well, if you want to know how YouTube works, tell us. All right, we got 5 more, and we got 3 minutes, so we're gonna hit them. I don't know.
Sure, let's do it.
We're trying to do the hour. Remember? I don't think it's gonna work.
Like you do 5-minute videos.
Yeah, I know. Hey.
I know. I gotta give you some crap.
Well, that's the other thing I will say. Speaking of that, so the mid-roll, you can make more money if you have the ad like in the middle of the video.
Yeah.
It only lets you do it if it's 8 minutes or longer.
Yeah.
Now, I don't ever make one, it's got to be 8 minutes so I can do it. But like most of my videos aren't 8 minutes, so it doesn't put it in there because it's not even an option. So, I don't know, take that for what it's worth. Thomas Bossy 2174.
What's up, Thomas?
Wow, you talk about my comment. Also, a group of jellyfish can be called a smack or swarm.
They're swarming me! Ah! Smack them! Smack them!
I do not want to be smacking no jellyfish. I know that. I just think it's funny how we get comments about what groups of animals are called. So if you want your comment read, tell us some random animal name and we'll do it.
Yeah, there you go.
This is more of a comment as well. Andrew Mazzarini 2742.
Hi, Andrew.
The term Alex was looking for when he was talking about the end of the train cars is vestibule. Is that the term you were looking for?
What? A vestibule?
A vestibule.
Hold on,
I didn't think that was the term you
That's-
were looking for.
That was not the term I was thinking of. No,
I think that's the
vestibule.
end of the carriage where.
the light? Is it the light?
No, remember you were talking about the little the vestibule at the end of the carriage where the person goes into the car.
Oh,
I think that's what you're
the
talking
lobby.
about. That's the word you were
The
looking for?
vestibule?
That's what it's called.
I learned something new today. Thanks for that.
Swarms, smacks,
Swarms,
and
smacks,
vestibules.
and vestibules.
That's what you get here.
Yeah.
Data bricks. I have a question for next month. I'm sure Jason has seen the news and the leaks. I know how much Jason loves those. Actually, or how much Alex loves those. He
Yeah.
does
Oh,
them.
yeah.
But I do. I like
Yes.
to tell him. Of a space-themed CMF coming in 2024. Yes, this is the one we talked about last week. But we'll talk about the question. That will feature modernized additions to classic space themes.
Yes.
I would maybe argue with classic space themes because I think of earlier, but
Yeah.
that's just me. I'm old. I am curious to hear, are there other older themes you would like to see given for the same special CMF treatment? For example, Castle or Pirate are just two that come to mind for me. But I'm also thinking Western or Agents and or Ultra Agents would be a cool idea for their own CMF. Curious to hear what you both think. Also, I studied data analytics in grad school, so hearing the analytics of your views breakdown was actually pretty interesting.
Oh, cool.
So you can know that at least one person was interested there. Well, that makes one,
Hence,
counting you and me.
hence the name Databricks.
Yes.
Really cool.
So, what would you like to see as a CMF, like a classic theme redone as a CMF? I know what I think I know what you're going to pick. I think Alex would like to see Jack Stone.
Yes, that was like.
Can you imagine
all I
if they
want
did
is
the
Jack
Jack Stone CMF? Oh, that would be awesome.
You know what? I would say, yeah, the space classic would be fantastic. But they butchered that already, so that's obviously not happening. What would be kind of cool is if they took, and there's a lot of factions from Castle, but if they took like the like a knight, or like if they had one from a lot of the factions, and not just Castle. Like I'm talking about
the orcs and the
well,
trolls, that kind of thing?
No, not like that. I was thinking more like, what are they called? Like the Wolfpack, the Dragon Masters. Just like kind of representation from, and not just 12, like 16 would be kind of cool. And because there's a lot of factions that have been out there, and some are cooler than others, right?
Well, it's got to be 12 or 18. Like those are the numbers they come in.
Was there not 16 before? Okay,
They're
fine.
either 12
then
or
18.
18.
Then 18. That'd be kind of cool. Well, hold on a second. That's a good question. I want to think. About
I
this.
don't, and a lot of this I think is going to be based on your age, right? I don't think
Yes.
Agents or Ultra Agents is going to appeal much to you or me.
No,
Well,
I
know it doesn't
remember.
appeal to
I
me, don't
remember
know.
Ultra Agents.
I remember it, but it's not
Yeah.
some. My son had it, and it's
Yeah.
it's okay, but it's not my thing. But again, if you're, early 20s, it might be right in your, that's your bread and butter. Right?
What if they did Star Wars? Like,
You can't, because I know you don't watch a lot of YouTube about that. That is something people, like there's videos about, why don't they make it? They have a contract that won't allow, like there's all these, I don't know.
allow
Why
them
they
to be
won't do
CMFs?
Yeah, they aren't allowed to do a CMF. That is the prevailing belief. I don't know.
But it's Disney.
Yes.
And Disney's done plenty of CMFs. They did the 100-year CMF.
They did Marvel as well, I know. But
Yeah.
this is, I don't know. Anyway.
Irregardless.
I don't see Western being one they would do. 'Cause
Western would
there's
be
a lot
kind of
of
cool.
problems.
Western would be kind of cool.
Well,
What do you mean, like with Indians?
yeah.
Or
I think that would probably be a more taboo topic now compared to when it came out.
That's too bad.
And I think it is too bad, but you got to be careful with some of this stuff, and when you, especially as a corporation. So
That's why the Washington Commanders are the Commanders now, not the Redskins, right?
well, at least they're not the Washington football team or whatever they were
Washington's
named
football
before.
team. That's what they were for a while,
think they
wasn't
were
it?
for at least a
Washington's
year.
football team.
So
Ooh,
dumb.
watch out.
Yeah.
Anyway, no, that's cool. I haven't had time to think of that. That's on the spot. But
They could do an Indiana Jones CMF. That would be awesome.
I'd get it.
Would you?
Yeah, I would get
surprised
it.
me, 'cause
I would
I know-
totally get that. Well, because I like collecting the minifigures.
Yeah.
But the sets not so much. That requires more space. But I have my
I
minifigure
think it would be
collection going.
this. Okay, so this just popped into my head.
Okay.
I think they should do a CMF, like a movie CMF. Have like a couple of Back to the Future characters, a couple of Indiana Jones characters, a couple like pick all of these themes that are no more. SpongeBob, you could even throw in there. SpongeBob movie, I guess. Right? I don't know. Just pick some of the themes that are dead, essentially.
Dead CMFs.
You know, because there's people that they're like, oh, they only made what is it, like 2 Last Airbender sets. Okay, throw in an Airbender guy for those people. Why can't you do something like that? I don't know. Just a thought.
He's having a thought, babies.
Yes.
All right.
All right. And we're over an hour, but I'll still going to ask you these two because we had multiple people ask this question. Essentially this question.
Okay.
How do we get a car out of the tower?
Well, that's easy to answer. You buy one. and I'll
That's
sell
what
you
they
one.
said. Do I have to buy it to find out how to get it out?
Yeah, and they're not cheap. Oh boy, they are not cheap.
Do you like your car tower? I'm just curious. Do you want to tell them how the car tower came about?
Well, it wasn't your suggestion, was it?
I know.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking, like, what am I going to do? I was thinking about making that building, that design. But I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do, like, what its purpose is going to be. And like, oh, look at a Carvana and put the...
Yeah, that's what I
cars
told him. I
inside.
said,
I'm like,
you can keep
at
it
first
kind
I
of
thought-
the same thing and
I'm
make
like,
it
that's
Carvana.
stupid.
I
I'm
could
not
tell
gonna
that was...
do that.
Your
But
face gave that away, my friend.
Then I thought, well, there's nothing else I'm going to be able to put in this thing. And you know what? It would solve a little bit of a problem with congestion.
That is how I sold it to him. I said, look, I understand, but, you know, because the Carvana, I think, is kind of a... It's kind of a kitschy thing. Like, it's a novelty, right?
It is a novelty.
But
yes.
we have one just down south of here. But the big way I told him, I said, that if nothing else, it gets some cars out of your roads. Next thing I know, Carvana commercial.
I think they look pretty cool in there.
I think it's all right.
Yeah.
I don't have an
There
issue
you
with
go.
it. And how do you get them out? I don't know. I don't have stairs in my building, so I'm not going to complain.
There is a way, and it's not the man upstairs. It's not me. It's a cool way, but you have to buy a car.
Does it drive through the window?
No. The
That would be cool, too.
The car remains inanimate. There is a force, not me.
The Force.
There's a force.
That's the wrong franchise.
I don't care. We use the fire phasers and photon torpedoes and blow that ugly ball out of the sky. What was I saying? Anyway, no, there's a way that it's done.
Why do all these big space themes fight shapes? I just realized that. The Star Trek fights a cube.
It's a cube.
Star Wars fights a ball.
What's better,
Who's
cube
going
or
to fight a
sphere?
triangle? I don't know. Anyways, continue. Sorry.
I don't know.
I don't know why I thought of that. It's
Maybe
just the way you said it.
maybe one day I shall reveal how it's done. We'll have a person walk in there and make a big purchase, and you will see how it's removed and safely brought down to the street level for the customer to buy or to take off with.
If this video gets 2,500 views, he will show us.
2,500.
It's on my channel.
Oh, okay, 2,500.
That's a big deal.
If it reaches 2,500, tell your friends. They're all watching it more, like a repeat.
It's going to be 2,500 views with an average view of 10 seconds.
Yeah, here you go.
I think that's all right. As long as they watch the commercial. The last comment, we had I just put 2 words because I didn't copy the actual question, but we had a couple comments about this.
Yeah.
So you may recall that you were mentioning there was a little fig. I think this was in community commentary.
The British guy?
There's a British guy, and you said that he looked like the
The
mascot
guy,
for a
the mascot.
specific store. And
The-
they
the
had
store.
issues with the way we said it.
The store in Leicester Square. And boy, the people across the
So
pond.
you were struggling to say it, and I said it's Leicester Square.
Leicester Square.
And we had comments. It's pronounced Leicester. And they spelled it out Lester. So
Leicester.
if it is Leicester, why don't you spell it Lester?
not
Is all I
phonetic.
gotta say.
It's not phonetic.
My
Well,
wife looked it up on, I don't know, Google or whatever, and the pronunciation, and it does say it's, I don't know,
Well, I can't-
Leicester in the county of Leicestershire.
Leicester.
Like she was going over this whole thing. I'm like,
Let's just.
I don't care. But she did say, I don't know why there's all those extra letters in there. So
And normally, as Americans, we would really rip into it. Like, yeah, why don't you do it the right way? Well, American, I spell things.
I just
But
think it's
here's
funny
the
how,
deal,
like, the last month we've had all these
we
comments
had
about
some
the
people
way
who did not like
we
it's
say
Leicester
stuff.
Square. No, I mean, hey, look.
And the baubles or warbles or...
The way that we say things or pronounce things. Look, over here in the States, it ain't any better. All right? We have some weird spelling of weird stuff. You know, I can't think of any examples that are not shared. Duchesne, Tooele.
Yeah. Those are just cities nearby.
Those are just nearby cities. And you would like, oh, how do you say that? Yeah. So, anyway. I don't know. Yeah, Duchesne. Oh, my gosh.
It's spelled Duchesne.
Des Moines? Is that a good one, too?
Des Moines?
Des Moines.
Yeah.
How would you try to say Tooele?
Thule.
That's what we get.
It's T-O-O.
My favorite ones are the ones that we get from... okay, so like in Utah, there's a lot of... how do I say this? Because not a lot of people are going to be familiar with the Book of Mormon.
A lot of religious
names
cities.
For cities. And so... if you're familiar with the state, then you know these like the back of your hand. But when people come in, they go like, "What's the city of Nephi?"
Nephi. My grandfather. So there's a town called Nephi, about an hour south of here. Nephi. And I remember my grandfather, who lived in California, driving up. He doesn't know anything about Utah or the religion. He's like, "Yeah, I think we're gonna spend the night in Nephi." We laughed like, "Oh."
Yeah. I don't know. Anyway, so. Yeah, it's not any better over here, but we're still gonna say like, well, why don't you just pronounce it or spell it, Lester?
Yeah, we should have put up Tooele and see how they say it.
Yeah, how do you like them
some
apples?
of those.
Yeah, jeez, man. Yeah. Anyway, there you go. There you have it, folks.
Well, there you go. I don't think we quite made an hour. I think we're just a little.
You know what?
But
we are
we're trying.
making steps, but we had a lot of questions. There was a lot of questions in there. So.
We were I think 27. 28, so
28, man, that's a lot.
The fact
of
we busted through those, I say we did good.
But they were good. They were good. Like a lot of them were comments though, which are good because then we can just like, yeah, I agree, yeah.
Well, but some of them, like,
but they make us.
They lead to
they make
where
us
we talk about. Oh yeah, I do agree.
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
Well,
man, fantastic episode. Thanks for still watching this. Ask the commentators. There's some good questions for you too.
Yes.
Really good.
Yep.
I like it.
So, thank you for watching this episode of Ask Alex.
Yes, of Ask Alex.
Yeah. I had to.
Thank you so much. All right, guys. Well, of course, it's a special treat.
That's right.
Right, so stay tuned. And of course...
We want to thank today's special...
That's
what we got to say. Okay. Now we're ready. We're ready. We'd like to thank today's special sponsor.
What's up, guys? Mardi Gras Man 23 here.
This episode of Breaking News is brought to you by Mardi Gras Man's Retro Arcade and Money Pit. Come inside and see all the classics like Miss Pac-Man, Defender, and Outrun. And that's just on the first floor.
Great Scott, Marty! That's a lot of stairs!
And when you're feeling hungry between games, come upstairs for the best concessions in town. And you can meet some local celebrities like the A-Fool Gang.
Yeah, I don't like people...
And on the fourth floor, we've got Whack-A-Mole, Papa-Shot, the Claw Machine, and Jason's favorite skee-ball. Because who doesn't love skee-ball? So come on down to the Retro Arcade and see the gang.
I pity fool who don't come to the Retro Arcade.
Celebrity voices impersonated.